Hello, welcome to another screencast aimed at improving your EAPI grade for OCR A-Level Linear PE. This is the third of a few screencasts breaking down each section of the EAPI, and in this video we're going to be discussing the components of fitness. Now, as you can see on the screen, there are quite a few different components of fitness that you need to consider. If you need any help with this or help remembering those components of fitness, if you just pause this part of the video, you can write those down and go away and find out what these components are in your own time or through use of the OCR PE textbook. So we're going to be looking at these different components in relation to what we're going to be discussing as this part of the EAPI progresses. As with the skills and tactics, when discussing fitness components, there's a clear strategy to use. Think about the performer that you've watched live or on video, and then work this through logically for both the strengths and for the weaknesses. Firstly, what fitness components did you see in the performance that the performer utilised? For example, the ones we've just put on the screen before: strength, power, flexibility. So make a note of those as you're watching the live performance or the video performance, and think about them for both strengths and weaknesses. Once you've identified the fitness component that was either a strength or weakness, give evidence for when you discuss it. For example, what happened? Make this really specific to what you saw in the performance. Add in some theory, muscle groups, joints, bones, elements of biomechanics, anything you can make it more specific. This will give a much clearer understanding to the person who is assessing you for this particular EAPI. Finally, always remember to state how that affected the individual performance in any way. It doesn't need to be in great depth, this aspect, but what you could do is then add in some scientific theory as to why it may have been effective or why it may have been particularly weak in that performance. So let's show some examples of what we're talking about. We could start with something like this. One strength of the performer I observed in rugby was their speed. As a winger, as soon as the player received the ball in wide positions, he accelerated rapidly beyond the oncoming defender. This was very consistent in his performance and may be due to hypertrophy of his rectus femoris and biceps femoris due to previous weight training sessions, as the performer that I observed looked quite powerful, looked very stocky in appearance. It could also be the case that this player may have fast glycolytic muscle fibres in the muscle groups discussed to account for such explosive speed. A good example of a weakness of the fitness components would be something as follows. A weakness of the goalkeeper was her flexibility. She did not show an extended range of movement at her ankles, hips or shoulders to provide a good defending position against the goal shooter that she was playing against. This really restricted her performance as she was not as effective as a defender. However, it could have been that she didn't warm up effectively, which meant her muscle pliability was reduced, as well as the secretion of synovial fluid allowed her joints to be less supple, simply due to the fact she didn't have a warm-up. Now, I've given you two quick examples of strengths and weaknesses there, but as with the skills and tactics, as a rule of thumb, as a basic rule of thumb, you should be looking to get at least 3 strengths and 3 weaknesses of the fitness components. This is the minimum we would expect, but it obviously differs in relation to which centre's assessing you and how much time they're allotting you for your EAPI. Hopefully that helps you a little bit with the fitness components aspects of the EAPI for OCR A-Level Linear PE. If you need any further support on any other aspect, please visit the EAPI PE YouTube channel for any more help, and thanks again for watching.